Thuweba, and she's from Teaching with a T. So she wants to know, what are some important things to add to a product description? So we're going to do that question. Adding to a product description, like I like to start with a paragraph telling what the product is good for and how they're going to use it, what's the point, type of thing. I want to get my keyword phrases in to the first 3 lines of that paragraph. And when I say that, I don't mean make a list of a string of keywords. I mean, put it in there naturally so that it's in sentences and it sounds right to a buyer. Then I like to make a list of what is included in the resource, and I do a bullet point list. And then I add any other information. So I might say like some things it's good for. I've been doing that lately, a bullet point list. It can be used for distance learning, e-learning. It can be used for homework or small group or math center or whatever applies. I put a few things there. I'll link a couple of categories. You can link products. Please do not link your entire store. Like a few links, and a few being like 3 to 5. That's my philosophy. And I remind them to leave feedback, and I remind them that they can follow me. I don't go on and on and on, and I'll tell you why. And I don't do paragraph after paragraph after paragraph, and I'll tell you why. Because who in the world's going to read it? I bold important words or phrases that they need to see. You make it scannable. These teachers don't have time to be reading every single word in your description. I'm sorry. That's why you're going to work it with thumbnails and previews. It's all a combination. That's my philosophy. So there you are. And then speaking of previews, what do I recommend? Do I recommend always uploading the whole PDF as a product preview? I try to put as much in the preview as I possibly can. Sometimes it is the entire resource, except the answer keys. I don't include those because students are getting smarter. If you go look at my store, you might see some products that I haven't changed a preview on. And so you might see answer keys just because I've had a change of heart because kids have gotten smarter. So they just haven't been fixed yet. So I try to include as much as I can. Basically, I just copy my whole resource and then I slap a preview watermark on top of it. So it has my cover, it has my terms of use and all that stuff. You don't have to have that in there. Now, if I have a big resource, then I'm just not going to get everything in there. So in that case, I do some collage pages. I don't recommend just doing one collage page, period. I don't recommend putting 20 to 40 pages on one collage page. That's me. That's my opinion. You can do a few collage pages and then you might say, like I have one that says printable and digital included. I have some that say, something like, this game has 4 rounds and a blank slide to add your own. Or, you can point out important pieces to your resource. You can point out what it's good for. But you don't want like all this big long text. Again, they're not going to read it. Highlight. When you have a student and they highlight, you tell them to highlight and they highlight like the whole passage. Okay, no. What are the important things in your resource that you want to share and have potential buyers notice? That's what you want to include, okay? If you have different parts to a resource, maybe you have this part that you're going to do together. Maybe there's like a reading passage, so you highlight that. Maybe there's like questions, so you highlight that. Maybe there's activities for them to do, so you highlight a couple of those. Okay, so you want to highlight the important parts. Hopefully that makes sense.